Today's video is the Colorado real estate market right now, but told in a way that actually helps you make a decision, especially if you're buying or selling in the mountains. Because if you've been listening to the headlines, you've probably heard some version of it's still expensive, interest rates are annoying, and nobody knows what's happening. And honestly, it's not totally wrong, but it's incomplete. What I'm seeing and what the data is backing up is we're in a market where buyers have more options and more leverage than they've had in quite a while. And sellers who are still living in 2022 mentally are getting a very rude awakening when their listing just sits there. So here's the question I want you thinking about from the start. Are we in a market where you need to rush and fight everybody, or a market where you can actually negotiate and be picky without losing everything you want? Because the answer changes how you buy, how you sell, and honestly, how you sleep at night. My name is Anthony Soul, a Colorado real estate broker who helps luxury buyers across the state of Colorado. I work with a lot of buyers relocating into Colorado. My whole style is going to be education first for you guys, so you guys can learn before you end up making a decision that you ultimately regret. Let's start with the quick big four on the Front Range just to ground the conversation, because a lot of mountain buyers either used to live in one of these markets or they're comparing against them. Using Zillow's typical home value as a consistent benchmark across areas, Denver is sitting around 531, Boulder 943, Fort Collins is around 556,000, and Colorado Springs is around 446 as of late February 2026. And what's interesting is the direction. Denver and Boulder are both down year over year on that metric. Fort Collins is slightly down, and Colorado Springs is also down. That's a pretty good temperature check that buyers on the Front Range have been price sensitive, and sellers can't just throw a number at the wall and expect a line out the door. Now, let's zoom out statewide, because this is where the story gets clearer. The Colorado Association of Realtors has been talking about the same themes I'm seeing in the field. Inventory up, days on market up, and pricing softer in a lot of areas, meaning buyers have more choices and they're taking their time. That's basically the definition of buyers have more leverage, because leverage comes from options and time. If there are more homes to choose from and listings are taking longer to move, the buyer doesn't have to panic. Nationally, you're seeing similar vibes. NAR has been pretty direct that inventory is higher than last year, and buyers feel less pressure, more choices, less of the multiple offer frenzy energy, and their February 2026 snapshot puts existing home inventory at about 3.8 months, which is still not easy street, but it's more balanced than the chaos years. Now, Denver specifically, since a lot of people use Denver as the state's market benchmark, Denver Metro Association of Realtors, their February 2026 report noted detached median sale price down year over year and a big jump in pending activity as rates dipped a bit, which basically tells you buyers are there, but they're selective and price still matters. Okay, now let's talk about my area of expertise, which is the mountains, because the mountain markets don't always behave like the Front Range. So the mountain markets can soften without falling off a cliff, if that makes sense. Using that same Zillow benchmark, Summit County is around 972,000 and Breckenridge is around 1.18 million, both essentially flat to slightly down year over year. We're not seeing the rocket ship pricing of the peak frenzy era anymore. A lot of the mountain market right now is more like sideways, small swings, more negotiations, less name your price, and the days on market piece matters here too. Breckenridge showing roughly around the 90 to 100 day pending window on that benchmark is a very different vibe than the days of 2022 COVID. Vail sits in a different tier, and Zillow has Vail around 1.73 million up year over year. Avon is around 1.28 million and slightly up year over year. Telluride is showing around 2.25 million and up quite a bit year over year on that benchmark. And Aspen is around 3.36 million and up year over year. Steamboat is around 1.28 million and up modestly. Crested Butte is around 1.41 million and up year over year. Winter Park is around 785,000 and up slightly. Now, before somebody jumps into the comments like, Anthony, my friend sold a house for $15 million. These numbers are totally fake. Here's the important context. Those are broad benchmark numbers across all housing types, not only luxury single family, And every one of these towns has micro markets where pricing is in a totally different universe. But as a consistent statewide temperature check, it tells a story. The Front Range has been more price sensitive and has seen more softness, while many resort markets have held up better because demand is driven by lifestyle and scarcity. So what does this mean in real life for buyers? It means you can finally negotiate without feeling like you're going to lose everything to some mystery cash buyer who waived their firstborn child. I'm seeing buyers get concessions again. I'm seeing inspection items come back into play. I'm seeing sellers contribute to closing costs or prepaid items in situations where 2 years ago, they would have laughed you out of the driveway. And the reason isn't that sellers suddenly got nicer, it's that buyers have options and sellers have competition. A big mindset shift for buyers right now is this: you don't have to win the house, you have to win the deal. And those are not the same thing. Winning the house at a bad price with bad terms and a bunch of hidden headaches, it's not a win. In Colorado, the contract gives buyers meaningful protection during due diligence, especially around inspections. So you can move forward confidently, verify what you're buying, and if it's not right, you're not stuck as long as you act within the contract deadlines. So practically, what does buyer leverage look like in the mountain markets right now? It looks like being patient on overpriced listings. It looks like watching days on market and using that as a signal that a seller may finally be ready to talk. It looks like asking for seller credits, either toward closing costs, toward prepaids, or toward repairs, especially if the inspection turns up real items that affect ownership. It looks like negotiating terms that matter to you, like possession timing or furniture inclusions in a second home market where furnishing a place from scratch is a whole other wallet drain. And honestly, it looks like being picky about condition, because in a market where inventory is improving and days on market are higher, buyers don't have to adopt somebody else's deferred maintenance project unless the deal actually compensates them for it. Now, there's a small caveat that I want to mention here because it's very important. We do have a lot of dated inventory here in the mountain markets. So what you're seeing is that properties that are well kept from sellers and have been updated and show very well, they tend to sell relatively quickly, or you'll have sellers who just don't really need to sell, which is always a segment of the market. But just so you know, if you see a property that comes up, it's updated, it's well kept, it's in a strong HOA, there's a good chance that that property still could sell pretty quickly in today's market because they're competing against a bunch of outdated inventory. Now, flip the camera around. What does this mean for sellers? This is where your instincts are dead on. Staging and pricing are the two biggest levers in a market like this. When buyers have options, first impressions become everything. Pricing is the other one, and it's the one that hurts feelings. In a slower market, you can't price based on what you wish the market would pay. You have to price based on what buyers are actually choosing. Because if you come out too high, you don't just test the market, you burn the launch. And the launch is when your best buyers are watching. Once those A-list buyers write you off, you're left negotiating with the bargain hunters who smell blood in the water. Even Realtor.com has been noting that sellers are shifting towards more realistic initial pricing strategies because pricing right early matters more when buyers are cautious. So what else is working for sellers right now besides staging and pricing? Sellers who are winning are the ones who remove friction. They do a pre-list inspection or at least preemptively tackle obvious issues so the buyer doesn't feel like they're walking into a mystery box. They have clean documentation, so a buyer feels safe. They invest in the media like it's a product launch, not an afterthought. World-class photography, real video, and marketing that reaches beyond the local bubble. And yes, especially in mountain markets, how a property lives matters. So here's my personal state of the union on Colorado right now, and I'll keep it simple. The market has cooled compared to the frenzy years, and buyers have more leverage than they used to because inventory is improving and homes are taking longer. The Front Range has felt more price sensitive while a lot of the mountain markets are more stubborn, and the winners on both sides are the people who adapt, buyers who negotiate smart and don't rush, and sellers who price and present like pros. If you are buying a legacy home in Colorado and you want someone to help you use the leverage that exists right now without overpaying your hand and missing out, call, text, or email me. You'll talk with me or a member of my team, and we'll build a strategy around what you actually want, what the market is giving us, and how to protect you in due diligence. And if you're selling, we'll talk about how to position your home to attract serious buyers quickly. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. My name is Anthony Soul with Live Sotheby's International Realty. We service the entire state of Colorado. So if you are looking to relocate or buy a home, reach out to me and I will connect you with either myself or a member of my team. You can reach me at my phone number or my email right here on the screen. And I will see you guys in the next video.